Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 13 of the anime series, Plastic Memories. For all intents and purposes, the series finale, and what a way to go out. They definitely finished off this series with a lot of class and heart and just emotion, I was actually surprised pleasantly by some of the things they did in this finale episode. I was also a little bit peeved toward the very, very end of it, the post-credits sequence that you get, just because I don't like the implications of that. Let me get that out of the way right away. That's my only gripe about this finale episode at all. I really came to realize in this episode how much I love mischievous Ida. Like she knows her time is coming to an end, so she's going to have the most fun she can. She lets her hair down. She gets that mischievous smirk on her face when she's messing around with Tsukasa. I mean, they begin the day cleaning the apartment. Wow, thrills, It's their last day together, and they're just going through the motions in a way. And the way they're playing in the bath and everything, and Ida's continually splashing him in new various ways and stuff like that. I just love the look on her face. I love the attitude she has. And this even carries over to the later scene where, after they've gone into work and Kazuki comes in and she strips Ida of her terminal service card, so they have to take a day off. Tsukasa puts forth this idea, let's count to 3 and wherever we want to go, that's where we'll spend our day. And they both want to go to the amusement park. And there's just lots of memories there, not only for them, but even previous to this, before Ida ever knew who Tsukasa was. And so, bringing that into the finale, in a sense, was really heartening, and it was a pleasant surprise. Again, you see mischievous Ida to a degree where she, wants to go talk to the big stuffed animal guy or whatever and hug him and everything. She gets a balloon, and I was just smiling through the entire sequence. And when they start to sort of ramp up to this idea that the park is closing and they're holding hands, I felt like something was coming. I felt like, this was maybe where the turning point was going to happen. And little did I suspect moments later, Ida would talk them into letting them on the Ferris wheel. And this is where it would all go down. Their final discussion about the things they love about each other. And Ida, she knows Tsukasa's holding back the entire time. And, it gets emotional, because here are two people. I always equate it to what it must be like for somebody who is, married to someone or loves someone who has a terminal disease or something like that, where Ida has become such a mature character. She can, sort of dictate the scenario, and she wants it to play out to her own, sort of the way she wants it to end. And Tsukasa's only able to really follow along with her. It's almost as though he was in the lead when they first met and through a lot of the course of their relationship, and now she has become the lead figure. If this were a waltz, she would be the leader of the dance. And finally, when Tsukasa breaks down, it's just like I felt a certain relief in a sense, because she made the point, the way you smile, the way you hide it, really worries me that I'm going to be leaving and you're going to just be in so much pain. And when he lets free of that, when he finally cries, there's a growth and an evolution for both of these characters in that moment. And when she pulls the ring out and she's like, before we're done with this, going around the whole wheel one time, this is where I want it to end. And he grants her wish. I like that final moment, we could only see it from afar, the light expounding after he puts on the ring, and we don't actually see that last moment. Except to say that, he leans in and he offers her the same thing she would say to every Giftia they would repurpose. I hope one day you will be reunited with the one you cherish. And the tear coming out of her eye, and, I didn't expect Kazuki to be there waiting. It's as though she telegraphed this. She knew this was where this was all going down. And Tsukasa's carrying her and letting free of that emotion again. And I certainly did watching it. And then that final message from Ida to all of them, you know, and credits roll. And like I say, basically I sat back to a point relieved because I didn't know exactly how they were going to finish out this series, whether they were going to be able to pull me in and draw me in and make it a special moment, make me feel for it. Because I feel like through the course of the series, at least for me, there have been missteps. And, you know, I've talked about in episode discussion videos where I felt like they were backpedaling and it was frustrating and such like that. But overall, for finale and for, you know, the overall sense of the series, it was very emotional, and it really did, you know, draw me in, and I really am grateful for that because it was an enjoyable series for that. I didn't expect to feel this much emotion by the end. I thought I would have a detachment because I wasn't as invested with some of the backpedaling and everything, and that wasn't the case at all. I was thoroughly invested, and the only mild, again, gripe that I come back to is that post-credits sequence where, you know, the implication is pretty high that maybe this is the repurposed Giftia that was Ida coming back into the office after Tsukasa has been away for 9 months, and he's been training, I think, at the home office is what the implication is. Not only training, I think, to get over the loss of her and maybe to be better prepared for working with another Giftia that will be exactly like her, but maybe even, you know, trying to be more professional, trying to be less sort of pushover in that working environment when it comes to going and reclaiming Giftias and, you know, who they may run into. And so by the end, I mean, the finale of this series, it was definitely heartening. It was definitely tear-jerking, and I didn't expect at all for them to end up on that Ferris wheel, and that's really what put it over the top for me, because there seemed to be, through this going back to the amusement park time and time again, I mean, that seemed to be the one, you know, I guess you could say it's somewhat cliche in that, you know, the romance on the Ferris wheel thing has been done before, but they really staved it off until this final chapter, in a sense, the final day, and making that not just a point of the love between them, but this is where it culminates, and this is where it comes to an end. It was just powerful and emotional, and I'm grateful for having experienced this series and watched it from beginning to end. There were a lot of intriguing ideas to it with the Giftias and the repurposing them, and, you know, how this section of the terminal service did it very differently from the home office and all the other segments of that. And there's even, you know, a sort of quip that Ida makes about maybe they'll be shut down at some point when she's contemplating Tsukasa's future. But at least she's able, in those final moments when he lets free of those tears, she's able to go out with confidence that he'll be okay. And even though they didn't kind of play toward my speculation and my hope that, you know, Tsukasa and Michiru would end up together, you never know. I mean, that could be something. If they don't follow this up with another season, hopefully they won't. It's something left to, you know, the viewer's interpretation. In my mind, time has passed, and eventually Michiru gets down off her pedestal, and maybe they come together, you know. I don't want to think of this as this is Ida coming back into the office under a whole new personage, a whole new personality, repurposed Giftia though she may be. I don't want to think of that as being, you know, oh, Tsukasa gets with the next incarnation, you know, that kind of thing. I don't like that at all, you know. But yeah, I mean, just an emotional, powerful ending to this series. I didn't expect to be as moved by it as I was. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of this finale episode of Plastic Memories, if you've seen it, if it rocked you emotionally, if it left you, you know, unfazed, whatever the case may be. You know, anything goes in the comments below, as I always say. And so yeah, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.